Wow, you can really dance. Wow, you can really dance. It goes do, do, do. She goes do, do, do. I said we've both been dancing all this time. What a coincidence. So I'm genuinely trying to understand why it feels like every time I'm ready to record is also the time that these people want to drill stuff. But get ready with me as I prepare to make some content. So I have a couple of things on my list today to create, and honestly, I'm just doing my best here. But hi, welcome back to my channel. For anybody that is new, including me, because I am definitely new here, my name is Bella Fayomi. I am a mother of three. I am a church worker in the Finishing Church, Abuja, and I own two businesses. One is called Barefoot Gifting BFG, where we deal with nostalgic and sentimental and intentional gifting. And the other one is Little Toe Co. LT Co., where we host faith-filled women events and make merch to serve those communities. Welcome to the channel. If you go far back enough on this channel, you will see so many videos of me from the past. And I'm so happy that I had so many of those videos because I don't know, it's so nice to see the younger version of me. Like I look at her like a baby sister. And I think the younger version of me is a lot of the reason why LTCO exists. So today I'm getting ready to make a couple of pieces of content for LTCO because we have an event coming up. I think I spoke about it in the last what's it called? The last video that was on this channel. Granted, they were still making noise with construction, so I don't know if you really heard me when I was talking. Oh my gosh, guys, how cute is this invitation? I'm pretty sure like invitations like this are pretty popular, but this is my first time being invited to something that has this kind of invitation, and I promised myself that based on sustainability, I'm actually going to hold on to that invitation. So over the duration of the past 7 or 6 years, I've always had this desire to have a women's community or like a women's, I don't want to call it a club because it's not a club, but something that makes women, especially women of faith, feel safe. And after a while, I think I kind of just considered myself unworthy. I remember the first one, actually, not the first one, but like I remember one of the concepts I had in mind was actually called Haga's Collective. I made so many channels, not channels, I made so many like Instagram pages and stuff like that to serve that particular vision. But unfortunately, I think I knew at that time that I was not ready. There was a part of me that felt like spiritually I was not even prepared to shepherd anybody. And if I'm being completely honest, I still feel the same way that spiritually I'm not prepared to shepherd anybody. But I think what has changed is that I have accepted that if God has called me to do something, He will provide what is necessary for me to do it. So I think that is what has changed. In the beginning, and when I say the beginning, like conceptualization, before I got to LTCO, because LTCO as a concept is actually older than Barefoot Gifting, and Barefoot Gifting is 7 or 8 years old. So that just gives you like a vision of how far back this has been in my heart. More recently, however, and I'm talking about last year, I started feeling the leading to do something else. So I wanted to make faith based and quirky, not really faith based, but like quirky merch. So like tote bags, like t-shirts, like badges and things like that for women of faith that are just funny and unusual. So things like, how are you doing? I'm doing my best. I have a bunch of different like badges that we've done as like prototypes. And so that was what I ended up saying that I wanted to do. I remember praying about the name and knowing for a fact that the name had to be affiliated with barefoot in some way. And that's so funny because the POS guy that just left my house, my office, was like, you have a thing with feet too. This one is barefoot gifting, the other one is little too. I was like, yeah, I really value the importance of ordering your steps, and your steps are taken with your feet. The little toe looks like one of the most insignificant parts of the body, but it's actually responsible for balance. So that's kind of what led to that. Is that the baby toe is responsible for balance, and it doesn't look like it's important, but it's so important. So just in case you were ever wondering, so obviously the co in this is like cooperative because it's for a community. So by the point I got to, I now started making the merch and started doing like tumblers and things to like spark little bursts of joy in your everyday life. Once again, small things that hold like significant value or significant importance. And before I knew it, that idea of creating the community that I'm trying to serve with the merch made its way back again. So I was like, God, what are you telling me? Like, why does this keep coming back? And then I realized that it would be so beautiful and seamless to make the merch because I always knew in my heart, and every time I would talk to people about Little Toe and the merch, I'm like, yeah, I know this is not a big like thing. Like I know the merch itself is not a big thing. It feels like it's supposed to serve a certain type of person. So it's very like niche. The merch is supposed to be quite niche. And I was like, do you know what? Instead of waiting for a community that these things can serve, since this thing has just been in my heart on and off for the past couple of years, why don't I just create the community? And then I prayed about that and it just became a thing. So the vision of LT Code just transformed like overnight. And then all of a sudden, instead of just focusing on the merch and stuff like that, we started focusing more on serving a community of women. And that's kind of how we got started. So now, flash forward almost a year and a half, 2 years later, we are going to host our first event called Gather Her. And Gather Her is supposed to be an annual event that kind of acts like a reset or kind of acts like the events that we kind of tell everybody that is there what the purpose of LTCO is. It is not the only event we do. Right now, we've slated for 4 events, like 4 physical events every year, so one each quarter to meet. So one is like a reset or like a rest, like a retreat. Like I'm actually kind of obsessed with making sure that the things that we do are not overdone. So like the likelihood of you meeting a sip and paint at LTCO, that's just like you painting a thing, like painting a canvas is slim to none. But the concept of a lot of our events is there's an activity and there's now a deeper purpose. And then in the midst of that, we're also selling the merch to serve the community. Because by the point in time, I realized, oh my God, this is like a Jesus thing. I was already kind of anxious. It's not because faith based businesses don't do well, they actually do. It's just that sometimes when you label yourself as a faith based business, it makes certain things a bit more complicated than you would prefer them to be because it needs to be that, I guess, but like than you would prefer them to be. Let me give you an example. When we were starting the planning process of Gather Her, and we're trying to figure out the vendor for the activity, one of the activities that we had in mind, we reached out to somebody that does it in Abuja. And I was really adamant to my assistant, make sure you let them know that this is a faith based event and all that. Obviously, we're not hiding the fact that we're here for Jesus and all that. So I was like, yeah, let that be at the forefront of the conversation, just so that they know that they are not blindsided when they come and set up and they hear people talking about Jesus. And I just did it out of posterity for the most part because I live in the north, like we're in Abuja. So you can't just assume that vendor is okay. Every vendor is okay with like hosting your event or being part of your event. Lo and behold, that brand really and truly was not okay with it. They kind of gave us like a whole spiel of the fact that they're a neutral, like they err on the side of neutrality, so they don't want to be affiliated with anything that is like faith based and stuff like that. And I got it. It's like fair enough. But I was also like, you know, this is one of the things, and unfortunately, we can't hide the fact that it's faith based because that's the most important part of the vision. So that is like an interesting thing that we've had to experience in the planning of this event, is the fact that we just did not expect, like, in our minds it was like, we have the money for it, like we've saved for it, it's our launch event, so like let's try and do something that is different and unique. Only for the person to be like, yeah, I can't take your money. And I was like, you know what, fair enough, stand by what you believe in and I'll stand by what I believe in. But yeah, so that was one of my worries starting off LTCO. And you know what? It's not the worst thing that can happen in the world, because I just want to go to heaven. I just want to make it to eternity. So here's my like thought process or vision for LTCO and the Gather High event in particular. I want it to be a space where women from different aspects and different spaces in Abuja come together. We've already had a bunch of people so far. We've sold half of our tickets. We just started selling tickets 3 days ago. We sold half of our tickets, and I'm so grateful about that. What I really want for this first gather her is to be surrounded by familiar faces. Like, I don't mind one or two like outliers of like, okay, this person just found out about the event randomly and they wanted to come. I think that would be amazing and shows that we actually have some kind of reach. But for the most part, because it is a launch event as well, there's a certain level of intimacy that is attached to it. And that's why we only have 30 tickets for the whole event. So it's so nice to have like a good team of people that you can share a vision with and they will make it happen. And so yeah, it's really been a work of faith. From the point in time that we put it out, our quota was like we have 30 tickets altogether. So if we can sell like 10 tickets in 1 week, another 10 in another week, another 10 in the third week, then we can be done. And it's like a nice stable growth. But like in 3 days, we've sold 15 tickets already. So now I'm just like, God, you're really showing off, and God is really showing me that it's really and truly His idea, and so He will figure it out, and He has always done that. I'm so thankful. It's been such a transformative experience, like leaning on God so heavily. It has been such a transformative experience, guys, up to the point that I've started, like, now I know how to order things from China. Do you know how crazy that is? There was a point in time that I had so much anxiety. I experienced, because I didn't have, Zoe will remind me that I don't have these things, you just experience them. So I shouldn't claim them as my own. That's the importance of saying certain things to your children, because it's like creating a bank where they get to say it back to you. And both my children have used the advice that I've given them back to me. But yeah, so like there was so much anxiety that I was experiencing towards like ordering things online from like China, talking to like all these vendors that you don't know from anywhere and stuff like that. But at some point, I just had to do it. And I told the Holy Spirit, I was like, man, over to you once again. One thing about me, I'm going to lean heavily on Jesus. I'm like, that's what God is here for. I don't get shy about leaning on God at all. I haven't done a get ready with me in so long. And guys, why does it feel like my eyebrows are so different? I wish I didn't point that out, because now I feel like people will see it as well. They're really and truly my own eyebrows. They're like cousins. They are not sisters, so they are certainly not twins. They're like cousins, but that's fine. So, what are my hopes? My hopes for this event, I just want people to come and connect with other people. I really want a situation where people come out of it saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got to meet this person. I'm so excited for the next one. I really want to be a member, because at the end of the day, we are selling memberships. That's like kind of the thing. We're trying to create something that's sustainable and long term. We don't want it to be a quantitative experience. We want it to be a qualitative experience. So by being a member, you get exclusive access to a couple of things, including like devotionals, online virtual devotionals that we're creating, books that we're creating. For example, one of the books that we're currently working on is called How to Be, well, it's not called, but the theme of it is how to navigate female friendships, like how to make friends as an adult and stuff like that. So you get access to a lot of those things, and we want to keep it as a cute little community. Not because we don't want to grow, and not because we don't want so many people in it, because a lot of our things are still going to be on sale for the general populace, but we want to be able to monitor and track people's progress and people's growth. it is so important to me that we can track the growth of the people that we're interacting with on a regular basis. Like, we don't want it to be like, oh, you come one day, you don't come the other day, and then you're just like done. We want it to be a thing where something is happening, and you find that even outside of LTCO, if something else is happening, you see members inviting other members to their events. And then the end goal for LTCO is to foster a spirit of safe mentorship. It is so important to me. Mentorship is so important to me. Was that a lot? Feels like I just like baptized myself, but that's okay. BRB. By the time I come back, hopefully I have eyeshadow on, I have blush on, and it doesn't not look like I contoured my nose, because I'm actually really stressed at the fact that my nose contour didn't eat today. Not happy about that. You know, guys, I'm still expecting so much of my stuff from the high seas. Oh God. And I'm really hoping that everything, at least most things for like LTCO, we have some face caps, we have some t-shirts, we have some tumblers and stuff. I really hope that at least 70% or 60% of the things that we actually would like to sell actually arrive on time. Because if you know anything about shipping from China, especially by sea, is that it might be cheap on the one hand, but you're waiting for 3 months. All right, guys. So this is the finished look. I just put on some. I didn't put on the balm actually. I used my groundwork by Dennis and Myrix. This is what it looks like. I think it's groundwork 2. Groundwork Blooming Romance. It's for eyes, brows, face, and lips. And I always use it for my lips. And that's what I did. I used the darker color for a liner, then I used the lighter color in the middle. And then I just put a nice gloss on top. And I am ready to create even more content. This is so funny. But yeah, this has been like a really major thing that has been ongoing in my life right now. So I really wanted to share that in the mindset of us coming back to the channel. Um, oops, I forgot to put on this. I really wanted to have this on my, but I think it might be too big for me. If I can tighten it, that's so cute. Um, yes, so this is my finished look, like I said. Thank you so much for watching. Um, I don't know what else to say really. There's going to be a lot of business-esque content. I'm also going to try and vlog. But honestly, in the comments below, let me know what kind of content you want to see from me. I'm pretty open-minded to a certain point. So let me know what you want to see from me, and I'll do my best to have it. And then I will see you guys again on the next Wednesday. And before I go, do not forget, look at me. Don't forget that you are sugar, you are spice, and you are bomb jollof rice. Praise the Lord.